Good evening, and welcome. How's everybody tonight? All right, that's what I like to hear. I'm Shalisa DeMuth, the Executive Director here at the Beta Group. Thank you for joining us for the Minnesota Startup Awards. It's an annual awards show we run every year at Twin Cities Startup Week. We've got some really great awards to give tonight, but I'm happy to introduce our presenting sponsors for this evening. Catherine and Johnny from Storage and Storage Institute, will you join us for a second? Welcome, everyone.
Thanks, Shalisa. First, I just want to say what an amazing job she and her team have done. Can we give it up for them? Incredible job. This has been such a great week, and we're so honored to be a part of it. So I'm Catherine Johnson. I head People, Ops, Legal, and Compliance at Storage. We have decentralized cloud object storage, bringing all the benefits of decentralization. Our network is secure, blazingly fast, very private, and affordable. We are leaders in diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have team members all over the world in 5 continents and in more than a dozen countries, including Ghana, New Zealand, Macedonia, Brazil. And today we were ranked #1 on the Web3 Index, showing a real-life use case for Web3, real-world use case. We also are the greenest storage solution, buying carbon offsets for all of our storage transactions. And I also wanted to introduce Johnny Helmberger, who's going to tell us a little bit about Storage Institute.
Hello, everyone. The Storage Institute, we're excited to announce, is a relatively new program that we've rolled out. Thank you to Storage for fully funding us and promoting it. So what we're about is creating a more inclusive internet, and we do that 3 ways. We do that through education. That's empowering, or I should say expanding knowledge and awareness of Web3 and emerging technologies. We do it through policy advocacy, promoting healthy regulatory framework for growth and in Web3, and or I should say Web3 growth and innovation. And then lastly, through amplification. Through our grant program, we empower the previously underrepresented to participate more fully in Web3. So for more information about our programs, about our events and our resources, feel free to follow us on Twitter or connect with Catherine and myself. Thank you.
Thank you both so much for sponsoring. Thank you, Johnny and Catherine. Well, we're really excited about the program tonight. Of course, just what Johnny and Catherine introduced is exactly why we're here, to introduce new communities and, new companies to our community is what I meant. What an incredible tech product and an incredible community that you're building in the Web3 space. So thanks for being here and presenting with us tonight. I'm ready to pass things over to our incredible MC for tonight. Put your hands together for Jeff Aggie.
Oh, thank you. All righty, everybody. Good evening. All right. Does the weather feel like Minnesota? It went from like summer to winter. We skipped fall altogether. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for our Minnesota Startup Awards 2022. I'm a big believer in doing exercises and affirmations and seeing who was engaged during the week. Although I'm not an instructor or a teacher, I think it's good to see. Raise your hand if you went to at least one startup event this week. All right? Keep your hands up if you went to 2. All right, keep your hands up if you went to 3. Keep your hands up if you went to 4. Keep your hands up if you went to 5. Keep your hands up if you went to 6. Keep your hands up if you went to 7. Keep your hands up if you went to 8. All right, stand up if you went to 9. You got to stand up if you went to 9. Oh, my God. You got to stand up. You know, one of my favorite poems is the man in the arena. You know, it's such a inspiring poem. In fact, Brene Brown has a book that's so popular from a line from there about daring greatly. I'm not sure if you've ever read the poem, The Man in the Arena, but it talks about that it's really not the critic that gets the glory, but it's the person in the arena. And when we think about the startups, you know, we could say that the startups and the startup founders and the folks who work in the startup world are the people in the arena. But the truth is, Minnesota is a really broad arena. It's not only the startups that are really the ones that are working diligently and working hard. We have an amazing investor community. We have customers who continue to try new products. Minnesota is perhaps the best, top 3 in the nation for the startups sticking around. So if you start a business in Minnesota, it's likely your business will be around in the next 4 or 5 years. And I think that's an amazing thing. Another thing that I want to really highlight about our startup ecosystem or the entrepreneurial space is the amazing entrepreneur support organizations, whether it's the accelerators or incubators. We have folks to help founders at every stage of development, from idea all the way to Series B, Series C. That is an amazing thing. So we ought to give Minnesota a round of applause. Okay, all right. Now, I'm going to refer to my notes for this one. For this evening, we have 8 awards that we're going to honor tonight, 8 awardees, and even more folks who have been nominated. And the 8 startup awards are, the first one that we're going to award tonight is the Emerging Startup Award. The next, the Company Culture Award. The next, the Corporate Champion Award. Following, the Impact Award. Well, this one, I know a lot of you are going to really like this one. The Bootstrapper Award, because it's not always about capital. All right, all right, all right. Then we'll have the Inclusion Evolution Award. This is so Minnesota. Then we'll have the, you'll find this, we have the second largest startup week in the country. Did y'all know that? But nowhere else in the world are you going to see an award like this. The 10,000 Lakes Award. That's right, that's right. And then lastly, we'll have the Startup of the Year. Is that okay with you all? Okay. So, our first award, the Emerging Startup Award. So when it comes to the Emerging Startup Award, you think about startups are really about passion. It's about growth. It's about change. It's about pivots. It's about finding solutions that you thought were the solutions until you bring it to your customers and they tell you that's not really what they wanted, and then you adjust and you make it better and you come back. It's about looking for investors, and not just a 9 to 5, but a 8 to whenever you go to sleep, sometimes 7, so that's really 23 hours. So if you're in the crowd and you want to get into the startup space because you don't want to have a 9 to 5, I'm sorry, you just have no life when you're a startup founder. At least until you raise enough capital. But this award goes to the Emerging Startup Award, and here are our nominees. Give it up for Cadre. All righty. And if you're a nominee, I'd like for you to stand up when, nominee. All right. Cadre. Anyone represent Cadre? All right. Round of applause. Okay. Twin Cities App Dev. All right. Voloco. See, look, I love that. Someone corrected me. I love it. All right, one round of applause. Rolling, like you gotta roll it, Y'all seen this before? All righty. And the winner is Cadre. All right.
Hi, everybody. First, I just want to say, for everybody that's showing up here tonight, thank you. Number two, Twin Cities Startup Week has been amazing. Hopefully, y'all feel the same about that. Number three, have any of you guys seen the podcast van, the Cadre podcast van around? Well, that's us. 11 months ago, our group got together in Vail, Colorado, and we developed this business with this idea and this concept that our goal is to make sure that every human being can live their best life. And so we're developing a platform to be able to do just that, right? On the heels of everything that's going on with our mental health space, substance abuse, recovery, you name it. Our goal is to bring forth, whether it's in employees and businesses or to the individual marketplace where human beings can be their best selves. And that's our dream, that's our goal, and we're gonna fight to do it. We're gonna keep going. Our goal ultimately is to just be the Beatles of timeless content in this space. Overall wellness, right? So that's our dream and that's our vision. I also wanna say thank you so much to Shalisa. She's doing an amazing job here with Beta. So again, thank you. I also wanna say to everybody here, I own and operate different business in a different space. But with that being said, this community is strong. This community is great, and it's just cool to see collaboration instead of competition. So again, I'm speaking for everybody I've met here so far, like thank you. Thank you for showing up that way in a very different way. So again, our goal is just to bring out the best in human beings, and I think that we all want to achieve that in this life. So thank you so much for your time. Appreciate you, and look forward to, and everybody else that's here, nominations or not, whether you win or not, you're amazing. So love you all. Have a great night. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Give it up one more time for Cadre. All righty. Our next award is the Company Culture Award. Now, the great Peter Drucker says that, I'm not sure if I agree with this quote because I work a lot in strategy, but it's so true, and I hate the fact that it's true, that culture eats strategy for breakfast. You ever notice that if you don't have the right company or organizational culture, everything else is kind of a little out of whack? It takes diligence and intentionality to build company culture. In fact, a few years ago, well, now a lot more than a few years ago, Google had a project called Project Aristotle, now called Project Rework, where they looked at what are the factors that make teams most successful. Is it the cross-functional nature of teams? Is it where the team members got their degrees from? Is it the level of seniority? They tried to measure all these things, and what they found was the number one factor for successful teams were psychological safety. When folks feel psychologically safe, they innovate, they work well together, and they succeed. So this award is for company culture. And our nominees are Fulcrum. All right, if you're a team member, founder at Fulcrum, we'll ask you to stand. Okay, all right. Thank you, of course. As we name our nominees, I just think it's important to acknowledge you, one, because there are a number of folks that represent different areas of the ecosystem here, and we're gonna have a party tonight, and it's never too early or too late to network, to perhaps meet your next investor or your next customer. So I would love for you to stand up as we call our nominees. Our second nominee, Turn Signal. All righty, all righty. I'm loving this name, Vivacity. Yes, yes. All righty, now you know the roll thing, you got it. Okay, all right. And the winner is Turn Signal.
Wow, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for this award. And while I'm the only one here from the team tonight, we've been able to build Turn Signal with our people, right? And we look at the people that make up the organization, and we look at us building towards success. When I think about how we built our company culture, it's about asking the questions. It's about meeting people exactly where they are today. And so we're going to continue to do that. And as we build this culture out, we're going to also need each and every one of you all to be a part of our community, to be a part of this organization, to help guide us and guide us on this mission. And so I'm going to give a shameless plug. Turn Signal is also hiring. And so if you want to work for our organization, please do reach out. Thanks, everyone.
All righty. All right, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, non-conforming folks, I just want you to know, as a startup founder, there is never a shameless plug. If you're up here, if you're hiring, if you're doing what you need to do, be shameless, okay? Yes. All right. So our next award is the Impact Award. And as you know, there's a difference between intent and impact. Intent is what you would like for things to be. And in many ways, we're known for our intent. I intended for this to be good, but maybe you don't feel that way. And then there's impact. Impact is measured by results. So our next group of nominees are folks who, when you could look around the entire ecosystem and they could trace whether it's their education, their acceleration, their meeting of their first or second or third or fourth investor, their ability to scale. So when we're looking at this category, consider folks who are really responsible for supporting entrepreneurs in a very real and measurable way. I'm sorry, hold on one second. Okay, so you know how I said we were going to do impact? The bosses back there, the producers. The producers said we're going to do corporate champion first. All right. Now, I think the term corporate champion speaks for itself, especially in the land of 1,000 Fortune 500s. Not really 1,000, but we have really great corporations here that support startups. Did you know that one of the best ways for startups to grow is through corporate partnerships? And I'm not speaking just from a sales perspective, but corporations have innovation teams that are directly at all times working to find what the best solutions are next. But the startup founders themselves have tested a lot of these ideas outside. So while corporations have a lot of capital, they have a lot of people resources, they have a lot of industry knowledge, they don't have to interact with founders. They actually don't. And so, as we look at this award, our corporate champion, think of corporations and the people that work for corporations that our startup ecosystem could not function without them. And so, for our corporate champions, we have our nominees, Boston Scientific. Any representatives from Boston Scientific? All right. We have Lunar Capital. All righty. We have Noma Capital. You got to stand up. All right, all right. We have TriNet. You got to, TriNet is up front, okay? And the winner is Boston Scientific.
I'm here on the last second, but I will say. I love your green. Hi, everyone. This is a huge surprise for me. One of the biggest, greatest part about working in a large corporation is that there's so much stuff going on. And I just found out about this 2 hours ago. I was like, hey, who's getting this award? And somebody reached out to me, and they're like, hey, let's hop on video chat. So I talked to Brian. He is in our R&D department in our innovations area. We work with Generator. And I was like, we work with Generator? That's awesome. And as a Twin Cities Startup Week veteran, I'm just so happy that we are a part of this ecosystem and so honored to get this award for Brian and his team. He couldn't be here tonight. He has, it's his birthday, and he has a date with his wife, so he sends his regrets, but thank you all so much. We are also hiring. Come and chat. Thank you.
So now I have to take out the part where we sing happy birthday. Okay, all right, well, thank you so much. So our next award is for the Impact Award. Aren't we grateful for producers? You see, if this was, if this wasn't a startup award, it was like a corporate award, I'd have like a little thing in my ear and folks would be like, hey, you're doing the wrong thing. But the reality is that as we're talking about impact again, these are folks who work tirelessly while they may not be entrepreneurs themselves, work diligently and tirelessly for the ecosystem, and so many people can trace their success to them. And the nominees are Allison Hone, Danielle Steer, Neela Mogard, all righty, and the winner is someone from Launch, Minnesota, Neela Mogard. Oh, yes.
Wow, really overwhelmed and humbled. But this award would not happen without all of you. There's no way we can have impact without each of you. We have incredible community leaders like Allison, like Danielle, who work tirelessly every day to see our startups start and scale. We have the founders, who many of you met already tonight. Their grit and tenacity is amazing. I'm just in awe of the conversations I have and the problems that they're solving. We have the investor community, the corporate investors and innovators. All of you are so integral in our innovation ecosystem here in Minnesota. So when I talk to people inside and outside of Minnesota, what I always say that differentiates us here in Minnesota is our people. That's our value proposition, all of you. So I'm very humbled to be nominated with someone so incredible as Allison and Danielle. I mean, really, how lucky am I to be able to work with them and all of you on a daily basis? This is a good gig. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And I look forward to, let's give Shalisa and Twin Cities Startup Week a big round of applause. This has been an incredible week, and what an amazing event to cap it off. So thank you. Just been an amazing week. Thanks to all of you.
All righty. Shameless plug. I'm not sure if it's been exhausted, but there's a thing here in Minnesota called the Angel Investor Tax Credit. It's very important to look it up if you haven't taken opportunities. But just in general, look up the Launch Minnesota website, LaunchMN. There's so many resources for founders, so many grant opportunities, and whether you're an investor or a startup founder, that site is for you. Okay, this next award is one of your favorites. I already know before I even ask, right? It's the Bootstrapper of the Year award, you know? Yeah, come on now. You know, I recently found out that the term pull yourself by your own bootstraps was supposed to be like a joke, not like a real thing, because it's kind of impossible to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. I never knew that. I thought it was like a real thing, but originally it was meant to be a joke to highlight the absurdity that it's impossible to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. But these founders are folks who have scaled the old-fashioned way through sales and revenue and acquiring customers. And so, please give a round of applause for the nominees for the Bootstrapper Award. Cadre. All righty. Intelligent RX. sit, eat. And the winner is, see, you gotta, come on now. And the winner is Cadre. Okay, all right. You gotta do another speech. So Lisa, he gotta do another speech.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much, Shalisa, again. Again, for all the companies, for all the businesses, for all the founders that are here, that are doing it the old-fashioned way, that's us. That's us. We have a variety of different individuals around the country, 8 different states. We have 35 coaches throughout this country that are really just working their tails off. And we've also done it very different. And what does that look like for us? We've given away a lot of the company. Right? We've given a lot of the company away for individuals that are working their tails off and grinding and working so hard and putting in the time and the effort and the energy to be able to do so. So, by giving those slivers away, I think people have, their own opportunity to own a slice of this business. And that means a lot to them. And it means a lot to their families and the opportunity to build it together. So we're all in to try to, do this thing together and try to provide this opportunity through the wellness space that we can ultimately share and change. That's our goal and that's our dream for individuals to, like I said, live their best lives. And that's our opportunity. So you can always check cadre.io to see a little bit more about us. And if there's anything that we can do to ever help, just let us know. But we're all in. You guys have a great night. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Our next award is the Inclusion Evolution Award. Yeah, I like that, I like that. The Inclusion Evolution Award. I talked earlier about Project Aristotle, now Project Rework at Google, about psychological safety and how that's important. Sometimes when we consider diversity, equity, and inclusion, we typically think of what's morally right? Like what you should just do. It just makes more sense for people to be more included. It makes a better life when folks feel seen. It just creates a better atmosphere when folks are intentionally brought to tables and are intentionally brought to the decision-making seats. But did you know that, according to McKinsey, and this goes up every year, organizations that are racially and ethnically diverse at their leadership levels perform 43% better from a profit margin standpoint? Diversity, equity, and inclusion isn't just the right thing to do, but it's good for business. And the nominees of the Inclusion Evolution Award do just that. They create not just better startups, but a better Minnesota for all. And our nominees Culture Booster. See, that's why he was really, okay, all right. That's why he was so hyped, okay. Hiya! Woo! All righty. Turn signal! Oh, you're building a little bit of a crowd here, okay? All right, drum roll, drum roll. And the winner is Turn signal!
I said wow last time, but wow, this is amazing. It takes a village to raise a child, but sometimes that same child can help raise the village. And there are so many youth out there that we need to focus on to bring into our organizations, to make us more diverse, to make us more inclusive, to make us more creative. And at the end of the day, we know that we can get the outcomes that we want to see. And when I look at this room, this is a pretty diverse room. Let's make it better. Thank you, everyone.
See, the thing is, if you win more than once, we can't use the same picture, so we still have to take another one for each time. All right. This is an award that's near and dear to my heart, the next award. It's the 10,000 Lakes Award. And it's for the innovators who are fueling Minnesota's ecosystem, Minnesota startup ecosystems that are not based in the metro area. You know, a lot of times when we think of innovation, we might think of Minneapolis, St. Paul, Bloomington, but there are tons of innovation that's happening outside of the metro. Did you know that Minnesota is actually top 5 as it relates to clean tech? Like, top 5 as it relates to clean tech. We're kind of like top 5 in agriculture, but there's a lot of things we're top 5 in. You know, I like to brag on this about Minnesota. I'm not from here. I've only been here 6 years, but now I actually live here. I consider myself a Minnesotan, and so I like to hype us up because we do so many amazing things. And these nominees are doing amazing things outside of the metro area. And the nominees are Discussify. All right. Did I say the name wrong? All right, you gotta, how do I say, see this? How do I pronounce the name correctly? You got it. Got it? All right, Discussify, all right. Next, we have Leah Labs. And our last nominee is Valico. And the winner is, I'm not gonna do it until I hear more. Okay, the winner is Discussify!
Hi, everyone. So to preface, this is our first Minnesota Twin Cities Startup Week. And first and foremost, I would really like to thank you all for the warm welcome. And coming here, it was scary. This is our first startup event, and I was like, what does a entrepreneur look like? What does a startup look like? And it looks like all of you. So thank you for that. I feel a sense of belonging here. But yeah, so where are we based? We're based in Northfield, Minnesota. What do we do? Oh, yes, we're an ed tech based at Carleton College. So hopefully there's a Carleton alum out there somewhere. But aside from that, I'll pass it to Kevin.
Why are you passing it to me? Sorry. Yeah, so I don't even know what to say. Thank you for the award. We really appreciate the opportunity. Like Kwok said, right? This is our first time doing anything entrepreneurial. We go to a liberal arts school. That's not really a thing that we're known for. So this was our first shot at it. And to be up here getting an award, that is a huge honor.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I never expected to be here at all, 2 years ago. Without the support of our college and also all the alumni, we wouldn't be here right now. So thank you to everyone who's helped us on the journey.
And the answer to who gets to be an entrepreneur is the person or people with bright ideas. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter where you're from. Actually, it really does matter. Being an entrepreneur means you show up as your full self because no one knows the solution better than you. And so if you're asking yourself whether you're in the corporate sector, I'm not trying to say you should make a career change at all because we need folks in the corporate sector. But if you're asking yourself if I should be an entrepreneur, if you're asking yourself, do I fit the criteria of what an entrepreneur looks like or what an entrepreneur should be? And I just really want you to know tonight before we do our last awards that unequivocally, you are what an entrepreneur is supposed to look like. Because to be an entrepreneur only means that you are willing to take the risk to try something new, to face tons of rejections. You'll get a lot, especially if you're raising capital, okay? You'll get a lot more no's than you get yeses. But at the end of the day, when you see your product in the wild, when you see the life of someone that's changed because of an idea that you came up with in your garage or in your dorm room or with some friends over the phone, nothing can replace that feeling, not even the revenue. And so I'm just challenging us all to look at the little entrepreneur within all of ourselves, or the big entrepreneur, because we all get to be entrepreneurs. All righty. And with that said, our last award for this evening, the Startup of the Year Award. Wow. So the Startup of the Year Award recognizes the startup that embodies the absolute best of Minnesota's startup community this year. So not just the revenue, not just only raising capital, but also the culture, the mission, the startup that represents all of what we want Minnesota to be. And our nominees are Fulcrum. Our second nominee, Turn Signal. Our final nominee, Zeus Electric Chassis. And the winner for Startup of the Year is, all right, gotta build it louder, build it louder. All right, Turn Signal.
So I've officially ran out of things to say. So I just want to thank everyone from my team. I want to thank Jazz. So Jazz is in Germany right now, and he's representing what is the Minnesota startup ecosystem, but on an international stage. And so when I think about what we can do with that and what we can do with all the people in this room and all these amazing startup organizations that we have here, I'm just so excited and thankful for this opportunity to be here, to be on stage, to be in your presence. So thank you, everyone. We appreciate you.
My brother. All righty, everyone. So the award show is finished. I know we're a little early, but it's because we want the party to start early. So when we end, we're gonna start playing the music. We want you to get up, continue to engage and meet. And what I think is really beautiful about Startup Week is that you can go from attending Startup Week for your first time and never having an idea of what a startup might look like, and the very next year, you can win an award because of your impact. I just also want to spend the time to say how excellent of a job in her first year of Startup Week that Shalisa is doing. I know that they did this earlier, but, well, I don't know if they did this earlier, but since we have more people here, if you're part of the Twin City Startup Week team, part of Beta, I want you to come to the stage. Come on, don't be, come on, people. Folks want to network. I think it's important. The second largest startup week in the country. All right, folks. We gotta get a picture together, you know? This is our photo op moment. This is our photo op. we looking? We're looking everywhere. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Enjoy your time together, network. Have a great time.